Hey guys, it's Bishozzy here, and welcome to episode 49 of the Berlin Dynamo series. Now, we're 7 games into the league season. We're currently not doing too well. I'll show you the league table here, and I'll move the face cam down the bottom for us. So as you can see, we're in 11th. We're on 7 points. However, we're not looking terrible. And what I mean by that is we've only won 1 game so far this season. But we've drawn 4 games, as you can see there. We've lost 2. So theoretically, we're slightly in negative goal difference, but at the same time, we haven't really been losing. And again, we've been having a few draws that should probably be wins. And honestly, one of the losses that we had should have probably have been a draw as well. So things aren't terrible. I've made a lot of signings. We'll go into that. Because I think it's very important that we cover it, because there are a few ins, and then unfortunately there are a few outs as well. So Nikolic was probably the last one you saw. Cano went on loan to Ingolstadt. He's on a very big wage. I tried to get some of it paid. I think they're paying about 2k or just under 2k per week. Not exactly ideal, but I tried to sell him. I was getting offers. I think I got an offer of about 60,000, and then I got him wanting to be compensated for his contract, and he wanted 120,000 in compensation. So I figured, you know what? I don't care. We'll keep him around. It is what it is. In thinking about that in a bit more detail, I probably should have just not terminated his contract, but agreed to compensate him for his loss of wages that he's going to go to another team with. Because it essentially would have half been paid by the transfer fee and then paid 60,000 out of her own budget. But it would have got his wages off the wage bill, which would have been good, except I didn't do that. Anyway, he's on loan, out for the season. He's actually got another year on his contract after that, so I'm hoping that we can try and sell him. I tried to resell him later in the window as well, but didn't really work. The next one, bit unfortunate, but honestly, Abu Aziz Barry, he left the club, 5 million to Wolfsburg. Pretty good transfer for him personally, and honestly, it was only like 1.3 mil up front, and then 3.7 over the course of, I think, 24 months or something like that. There might be a way that we can go in and check that as well. But yeah, I don't know. It was a weird one. I didn't really want to sell him. But yeah, Wolfsburg came in. That type of money, it's not really to be... We can't really turn our nose up at 5 million when our current balance at the moment is pretty much 5 million. Let me actually have a look at that real quick. As you can see, it's 5.8 million, but prior to that, it was just below 5 mil. So that 1.3 that I got sort of pushed it back over 6, which is good, and we need it. We're also spending a lot of money on wages at the moment, and as you can see, we've got 2 mil transfer budget left. So theoretically, I could easily put that money into wages, or we can go and sign another player. We might not be able to pay for their wages at the moment with that 151,000 current spending, but yeah. Anyway, so back to the transfers. We then let Blankenberg go on loan. He's a nothing player, just one of those youth players I signed when we were back in 3 Liga. Bit of a silly mistake to give them long contracts, but it is what it is. And then finally, this is a really weird one. Diego Aguilar. Darmstadt put an offer in for him to be a first-choice goalkeeper for them. I thought that was really strange because he's, Darmstadt, they're in the Bundesliga. They're in the top division. They got promoted last season. And then they wanted him to be their goalkeeper. I'm going to assume that maybe their goalkeeper got a serious injury or something like that. Let's have a look. So they got that guy, emergency backup. He's pretty dreadful, fair enough. Aguilar, and then they've got Rose, who's transfer listed, and who's been literally playing terrible. So kind of makes a little bit of sense, actually. Kind of makes a little bit of sense. Although they've got another goalkeeper. Yeah, another goalkeeper who's a backup on 11,000 per week. Bit of a strange one. Anyway, we'll go back because we've got transfers in. So there's a lot to go over. Barry joined us back on loan for the season. He wanted to return. Happy to accept that. We're actually not paying any wages as a result of that as well, which is good. We then managed to pull off another 2 loan signings. We got Nikolai Hawavig, who is a defensive midfielder. Looks pretty solid. I'm trying to implement him in the squad at the moment, giving him a couple of sub appearances. He's only 18 years old, but does look a pretty tidy player, as you can see there, for the defensive midfield position. Mads Holg was another player, left back from Porto, 22-year-old Norwegian. Just good cover for left back, honestly. Almost looks better than all the left backs we have in our team at the moment. But not just that, he can play on both sides. So a good bit of cover. Although we did sign another right back. And that was the next player, Mehmet Karaduman. Yeah, we'll go with Karaduman. Signed him for 155,000 from Schalke. And honestly, I like the look of him. I know he's 23, so he's theoretically probably past most of his development. And he's not very defensively minded. He's only got 8 tackling, but he's got good pace. The mentals all look relatively good. He's only a squad player as well, which I like. He's good going forward, which we need. And yeah, good determination, good flair, professional mentality. Sort of just the player that you want. You know, he's professional. He's got a good top speed. We've got him working on a new trait. And yeah, he's still got a little bit of potential. He's got 3.5 stars, being a good Bundesliga 2 player. So I think he'll be a good backup this season. And it essentially allows us not to have to play Romero as the backup, because I don't think Romero is good enough, personally. The next player, another loan signing, looks very familiar, and that is João Veloso dos Santos. Once again, he has returned for a 3rd season on loan. However, we go into the contract here, the loan contract. We have an optional future fee of 65,000 to sign Veloso dos Santos. And we're paying 0 wages at the moment. So at the end of the season, I can activate that for 65k and we can sign a player of his quality. 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. We know what he's about. He's played really well for us, you know, previously, way back when we were, I think, was that when we were first into Bundesliga? I think that might have been our first season back. And he got a 6.98, 4 goals, 4 assists in the league. Obviously, last season, didn't really play him too much. Only had 6 appearances with 1 goal, but I don't know. The fact that he essentially could become our player at the end of the season, it might cause me to play him a little bit more. And something we need to remember, which I'll show you here very quickly, is Dantas, his contract is currently running out. He's only got this season left. And he is 30 years old. And the issue with him is, when I go to offer him a new contract, he wants 16,000 per week, which we can't even offer at the moment. So there's a big issue there, massive issue, and he needs to be replaced. And honestly, we can replace him with Dos Santos, who's also a Portuguese player, very similar. I'm going to try and get him some player traits over the course of this season, maybe 1 or 2. Let's have a look. What does Dantas have? So he tries killer balls, plays 1-2, dictates the tempo, and he likes the ball played to his feet. I like dictates tempo. That's always a good one. So we might do that. 1-2s. It's not terrible. Killer balls. I'm assuming that plays off of vision and passing. So there might be one for Veloso dos Santos as well. His vision's not great, but he's got very good passing. They're very similar types of players, him and Dos Santos. So, him and Dantas. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Anyway, we got one more transfer, and that was Franklin Tebo. 31-year-old Nigerian coming in on a free transfer. His contract ran out in Nigeria. And yeah, comes in, ball-playing defender, very talented. A little bit lacking in the decision-making department. But you look at his physicals, they are outstanding. Has yet to play for the club, so today will be his debut. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Anyway, recent fixtures. I mentioned the draws. Of course, last episode was the Dusseldorf loss, which is frustrating, and the Holstein Kiel draw. We followed that up with a 5-1 victory in the DFB Pokal against Braunschweig, getting a decent amount of revenge on them, which was very nice. Gel had a goal disallowed. Pavicic on the score sheet opened it. Got a second goal in the second half for himself as well. Dantas on the score sheet there. Gel also finally getting on the score sheet despite that disallowed goal. And yeah, 89th minute, Regragui. I've got to try and get that in my head. Regragui getting on the score sheet as well. We then followed that up with a 2-2 draw against Hoffenheim. Honestly, this is one of the ones that we probably should have won. Hoffenheim just being relegated from Bundesliga last season. And honestly, we took the game to them. Iran Kunda, the Australian, getting the opening goal of the game. But yeah, Mera getting us an equaliser. Cruz putting us ahead 3 minutes later. And yeah, 90th minute equaliser there for Hoffenheim. Very frustrating. The next game, again, another very frustrating game. This was a 1-0 loss to Regensburg. As you can see, Gel having a goal disallowed. And then in the 90th minute, we gave away a penalty. And they scored that penalty. In the 90th minute, yet again, another late goal. This one should have been a draw, 100%. Realistically, we probably should have even won that game. So, very frustrating. We bounced back in the next one, however, against newly promoted Osnabrück. Beat them 1-0. They didn't get into the game. Gel getting us our only goal there. He's coming up with a few goals. I just need him to stay. If he stays on side, he'll have more goals throughout the season. So, as long as he does that, we'll be all right. Anyway, the next game was the Dynamo Derby against Dresden. As you can see here, they kind of dominated us. They got a goal in the 45th minute. And then luckily for us, Mera, who's not doing too badly in the left inside forward position this season, popping up with another goal. Pavicic with the assist there. But only 2 shots on target. So, yeah, pretty lucky to get the draw there, I think. And the most recent game played was another 1-1 draw, this time against Greuther Fürth. As you can see, Gel opening the scoring just after half-time for us, and then they got a goal back in the 62nd minute. A little bit frustrating. Anyway, that's pretty much where we're at. So, I'm going to say I'm a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, we've lost 2 games out of 7. And theoretically, we probably should have won a couple more of the draws that we had. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, in goals, I'm actually going to change the goalkeeper, especially after that last game. Lamens, I thought he was going to be the saviour. Honestly thought he was going to be the answer to our problems. And unfortunately, he's just not. So Clayton's going to start in goals today. Going to go with Egan Riley. He's another one that's not really performing. Potentially might bring Karaduman in. Yeah, I don't know. He's probably less defensive than Riley is, so I don't know. Egan Riley, he'll stay in for now. Imputhi's going to start alongside Tebow, or Tebow. We'll go with Tebow. Interesting that we got an African pairing in our centre halves. I like that. Prevel's going to start at left back today. We do have Borg on the bench. I would like to maybe see him play, but Prevel's doing pretty well. He's averaging a 6.96 at the moment, so probably our best defender, theoretically. Naranjo's going to sit in front of them. Again, Owavig, he'll probably come in as well at some stage throughout the game, depending on how Naranjo performs. We got Dantas, we got Senhaji back from injury, which is good. And then, of course, we've got Veloso dos Santos on the bench as well. We got Mera on the left wing, Pavicic on the right wing. Gel is going to stay up front. The bench is looking a little bit strange. Collins is back from injury as well. But yeah, Karaduman, Halvig, Regragui, Veloso dos Santos, Jabali, Barry, and Hogg. So let's go out there. We are taking on Elversberg today. Probably a team we should be beating. I definitely think we should hopefully pick up a 3-point victory here today, and get ourselves a little further up the league. And hopefully that'll happen. Really looking forward to, I don't know, I guess having everyone sort of implemented and the team cohesion go up a little bit. Also worth mentioning, I'm currently having a lot of issues with the squad and complaining and stuff like that. We are very lucky not to be 1-0 down there. Very lucky indeed. That was a good opportunity for them. But yeah, further into the point with everyone complaining, we've brought in a lot of players, and I think as a result, other players are now starting to get really upset, either due to the playing time or due to players being signed in their position, if that makes sense. So it's something I'm dealing with. That's got to be offside, surely. Definitely offside. It's something I'm dealing with. It hasn't caused the team cohesion to go into the red yet, but it's sort of like teetering right on the edge of it. So I'm assuming that's probably got something to do with it as well. If we can get a few wins under our belt, I think that'll turn around. And I'm hoping that we can do that, or at least start that today. Tebow, oh, how has he not scored that? I think that literally pinged off like 2 different posts, and then Gel blasted over. Gotta say, it's a little bit frustrating. I'm just going to ease Senhaji off tackles as well. All right. Dantas with the corner. Cleared away. And Puthi heads it back in, but he's never going to score from there. With Senhaji not playing too well, it might be a good chance for Veloso dos Santos to come on the field. All right, Tebow goes back to Mputhi. He goes out to Prevel. Prevel's been with us for a long time now. He loses the ball there, though. Frustrating. Lyonson's in their team, actually. I just saw that. Funny. Not funny, but we could have actually done with him in this tactic. I think he'd actually be a pretty good centre midfielder. And they've got the breakthrough. It might be offside, though. I'm not sure. It looked pretty level, unfortunately. Disallowed. Okay, good stuff. Keeps us in it just. We're not playing too well, though. We actually, you know what? We are playing well. I take that back. We've had 11 shots. We're not clinical, but I feel like we're almost never clinical, except for that DFB Pokal game against Eintracht Braunschweig. We were very clinical that game. All right, I'll see what happens with this highlight. We might make some changes. I think Veloso dos Santos will come on. And then we'll potentially take either Pavicic or Mera off. Gel. That's a good save by the keeper. Gel, he got the play trait place his shots as well. So theoretically, he should be doing a little bit better with his shot placing, but it is what it is. And Gel loses the ball in the worst position possible. Thank you. Egan Riley with a massive tackle there. All right, we're going to make a sub. Let's do it here. Veloso dos Santos on the pitch. Tackle harder. Bang. So there's one. And then I think Mera's going to come off for Barry. You know what? Gel for Jabali. Let's do a triple. We'll do a triple. I'm not too impressed. I also don't like Tebow going that far out of the box when he's a centre back. But anyway, it is what it is. Elversberg, they're coming forward again. Looks like Holinson's actually playing on the right wing. They're holding possession well. They're not really doing anything with it. I guess now they're trying to break forward. They do get the break forward down their left-hand side. And they're in the box, and that's 1-0. Just not closing the ball down well enough. He had a free run into the box, and Egan Riley playing terribly. 6.4. I'm getting him off the pitch. I've had enough. I don't know what it is. It's just the right back position. I just cannot ever have anyone play good in it. I don't know what it is. I think maybe 3 or 4 times I think I've had a decent player in that position. How has Jabali not scored that? Please, somebody explain to me how he hasn't put that in the back of the net. Actually ridiculous. All right, come on, Dos Santos. I need him to do something for us. The big, tall centre mid. All right, Barry, nice turn. Finish. You see the post. Jabali, is he onside? I think he is. He's going to get his first goal of the season, and that's important. But Barry should be putting that away. 1-on-1 with the keeper, and he hits the post. It was a beautiful turn, though. Beautiful turn. Going to encourage, and I'm also going to ease Karaduman. We just call him Mehmet. I almost want to call him Mehmet. But Karaduman will ease him off tackles as well. We're dominating them today. How are we going to draw another game? How are we going to draw another game? Oh, it's ridiculous. Oh, that is so frustrating. We should have won that game, and we've got another draw. Another draw. All right. As frustrating as that is, we actually have the Hertha Berlin derby up next, and we're away from home in the Olympia Stadion. So it's going to be another tough game. It's going to be very, very tough. They're in 6th place at the moment, looking pretty good. 3 points off of the playoff spot. So yeah, I'll join you guys for the lineup. All right, so let's get into the lineup for this Hertha game. I'm a little bit nervous going into this one. I've had to make a few changes. So I brought Romero in. Honestly, Egan Riley, CJ Egan Riley, I thought he was going to be the saviour. I thought he was going to be the person to solve the right back position problem. And he's just not it. Well, at the moment he's not. He hasn't been properly integrated into the team, I guess. So I shouldn't be too harsh on him. But at the same time, I'm frustrated. Very frustrated with it. Same with Lamans. I'm very frustrated with him. So Romero's coming in. I could have gone for the new guy, but I don't think he's defensively solid either. I think he's more of an attacking option, and we play with a defensive wing back. I know it's still a wing back, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to go with him. I'm actually going to change Naranjo for Hauervig. I want to see how he does in that position. I think he potentially could be better than Naranjo. So I'm going to do that. Everything else is going to stay the same. The only other change is Perea is now on the bench. And that is because Jabali broke his freaking leg. He fractured his lower leg. And as a result, he's going to be out for 2 to 3 months. So, yeah. Yeah, he scored last game. So I don't know where the goals are going to come because Gel's just not scoring at the moment. He's not really doing too much, if I'm being perfectly honest. So, yeah, like I said, I'm pretty nervous going into this one. I'm pretty nervous. Anyway, we'll see how we go. I think Hauervig's a good player, so I do like our midfield at the moment. I think it's pretty strong, especially with Veloso, Dos Santos in there as well. on the bench. So we've got a little bit of quality and a little bit of quality depth as well. That could potentially be our player. Anyway, the draws, they're absolutely killing us at the start of this season. And it's almost like freaking me out a little bit because I want to be promoted this season. And the way things are going at the moment, it's looking a little bit dicey. There's a long way to go. We're, 8 games into the season? And this is the 9th game. There's a lot of games left. 25 games left to play after this one. So a lot of points there to be picked up. But the draws, they need to stop. We need to turn the draws into wins. Take losses for what they are, because we're going to lose. There are going to be games that we are on the losing end. There are some better teams than us, but overall, we need to make sure that we're winning the games that we're currently drawing and against teams that we should be beating. So, Hertha, I mean, they were relegated into two Bundesliga last season, didn't get promoted. I mean, stuff like that, right there. Giving that ball away, the fact that Clayton saved that, I'm very impressed. But Mputhi, giving that ball away in that position, what is he doing? Like, it is absolutely dreadful. He's not a bad player. He's got 12 passing as well. He knows how to pass the ball. But he's just not doing it. All right. Hertha have another highlight here by the looks of it. They do have possession. Like I said, I'm not exactly confident going into this game. I was more confident of the game against Elversberg previously, and we drew that game. So, yeah, nice little overlap there as well. Pretty terrible shot from them, so it is what it is. All right, can we get something going? We've had 4 shots, none on target. Like, what is going on? Disappointing first half. I mean, Prevel's on a yellow card now. I'm going to take him off the pitch. Holg's going to come on. I mean, Romero's on a 6.4 as well. Like, 6.3 even. Why not go lower? 6.2. All right, subs. We've done nothing. We've done nothing this game. We haven't even had a shot on target yet. I'm actually getting frustrated and a little bit pissed off, to be honest. This is ridiculous. Like Pavicic, he's on a 6.5. The guy wants a 10,000 per week contract. I almost want to tear it up in front of him and sell him next season. Like, do I change back to the 4-4-2 and we just go guns blazing for the rest of the season? Just go full on attacking. We're actually winning games and not looking as dreadful as we are now. I don't know. Anyway, Egan Riley, you may as well go back out there, mate. Honestly, I think Romero's worse than you are. And Clayton's the only one that's keeping us in the game today. Yeah, Holg's picked up a yellow card as well. And then Mputhi's picked up a yellow card. I'm going to demand more. Like, what are we doing? We haven't had a shot on target. How are we going to win a game when we don't have a shot on target? We've got a highlight. Mputhi clears out to Perea. Up to Gel. We actually keep possession, which is nice. Perea's in behind. Can he cross it? Cross it, son. He shoots himself and he misses when he could have crossed it and we could have scored. Again, 0 shots on target for the entire game. Another draw. Another one. I'm actually pissed off. I know we didn't lose and we kept a clean sheet, fair play, but 0 shots on target. I can't handle it. Oh, it's like it's either too attacking or it's not attacking enough, and we're at either end of the spectrum, I guess, either end of the playing field. We dominated possession, but we did absolutely nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. And luckily, Clayton, who is prone to 5 unbeaten, is prone to an error, actually came up man of the match. Ridiculous. Definitely wasn't their goal kick because he didn't do a single thing that entire game except for take a few goal kicks. So it is what it is. We're up into 10th place apparently, so we're still getting points. We're 9 games for 9 points, which is ridiculous. Anyway, enjoy the episode, smash a like, subscribe to the channel as well, and apart from that, take it easy and goodbye.